So the first thing that I'm going to do is part my hair down the middle, and I'm just using some water right now in a spray bottle to just wet my hair so I can smooth it out and put it into 2 buns. I'm also going to be using gel. You could use anything that you want that's going to help hold your hair and make sure that there is like less frizz and flyaways. So I'm just going to be smoothing that throughout my hair, and again putting my hair into 2 ponytails to put into buns. You already know a girl tired. Also, make sure that your ponytails are really nice and tight, because I'm going to be adding some hair later on. It's gonna be really helpful if your base and foundation is like tight and it's not gonna go nowhere or slip off. So after my ponytails are even, I'm going to be putting my hair into a bun, and the easiest way for me to do that is to just twist my hair, but you can just do as you please. And also just make sure that your buns aren't too big, because that's gonna kind of just, you know, kind of make things a little bit harder later on. So now I'm just using a toothbrush to just make sure that like all the flyaways are down, and laying down my non-existing baby hairs. So I'm going to be using this instant ponytails that I found at my local beauty supply store. And as you can see, the hair texture is pretty much like wavy curly, and SZA doesn't have like this type of hair texture. Hers is more kinkier, and you can use like Kankalon hair and hair that, you know, is more similar to that texture. But with me and my texture, this is what looked better, because I did try to use like braiding hair, which is Kankalon hair, and it just didn't look right on me. So I just went with this. And also it's a lot easier because it's just 2 ponytails that I just clipped on and secured onto my head, and it pretty much just gives me this instant look. And isn't this hair bomb? And it's synthetic, it's shiny, and it's cute, and it really did its justice for this look. And it only cost me like $13, by the way. Like I think like 12 to 13. Now I'm just making sure that my ponytails are nice and fluffy by teasing and just fluffing it out. And this is what those look like. Ain't that cute, bitch? Yes. So now that my ponytails are secured and fluffed out, I'm going to move on to this bang piece. I also bought this at my local beauty supply store. It was just easier for me to buy a separate piece instead of trying to manipulate my hair into bangs, because though it's short enough, my color, my hair color wasn't the same as this one, so it just wouldn't have looked right. So I just made sure to cut my hair and to just form it the way that SZA does in her video. So I just used her pictures as reference. I also used some water just to be able to manipulate the hair, and took out my blow dryer just to be able to bump the ends, just to have it like how she has in her video. And once that is done, the look is complete and we can move on to the makeup tutorial.
Prior to applying any makeup, you want to begin by moisturizing the skin first. By dabbing the product onto your skin, you are avoiding premature wrinkles and also helping the product really penetrate through the skin. Dab onto the skin your favorite highlighting cream and place it on the center points of your face. Then go ahead and choose your favorite face primer. I'm warming up some eyeshadow primer on the back of my hand in order for it to become easier for me to spread around her eyes without pulling or tugging onto her skin. Choose a brown eyeshadow of your choice. You will apply this on the top lash line and lightly start blending that out on the outer corner of your eyes. Essentially, you want to create a cat eye shape. Pick a black matte eyeshadow of your choice and apply it really tightly along the top lash line. This will create a nice gradient when smoking out the eye. Make sure to blend those edges so that the smoky effect is a lot more seamless. After applying the cat eye with the liquid liner, I decided to go ahead and apply some matte black eyeshadow to take away the sheen that the liquid liner tends to give when the light hits it. Here I'm using a really thin and small Q-tip to clean up pretty much the side of her makeup to sharpen up that cat eye. Here I'm applying some brown and black eyeshadow to the lower lash line with a buffer brush. This will help blend a lot quicker. I'm also focusing it on the outer corner of her eye and not dragging it all the way through. I'm very light-handed to begin with when it comes to applying foundation. I feel like it is easier to build, so I've lightly started applying that, and then I go back and apply more where I feel like more coverage is needed. As I'm filling in her eyebrows, I'm pretty much just taking into consideration her natural shape. I personally love more natural looking eyebrows, so I'm just filling them in where it's needed. Make sure that you don't forget to set your makeup. Here I'm doing it on the inner corner of her eyes, around her mouth, forehead. Then I'm beginning to contour, warm up her face, give her that shape. I'm beginning to apply a kind of like a pinky shade on the center of her lips, and then I outlined the outer corner of her lips with something like a bit of a deeper pink, almost like mothy. Finished it off by highlighting her skin, giving her that Fenty glow. Here I'm adding some gloss on her lids, which is something that caught my attention when I was watching this SZA video. Here we are with some Glossier gloss. And I finished her off with an eyeshadow that has a bit of a golden pink highlight to it. And I placed it over her lips to make it pop. That concludes the makeup for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this collaboration. I'm Candy J. Thanks for having me, Laura.